I'm participating in something called the LD Vid 30 Challenge at the moment, which Karen Maloney of The Learning Experts has launched. And the idea is to encourage more learning and development practitioners to have a go at making their own videos and posting them, sharing them on social media. I've just been out for a morning walk and I saw a notification pop up on my phone while I was walking, and a newsletter from Karen with a blog post reflecting on her first week of the LD Vid 30 Challenge. And one of the captions, in fact, I think it was the newsletter title, was "Nobody cares what your hair looks like." And that kind of inspired me to just take a moment at the end of my walk to do a reflection here on Snapchat and not really care what my hair looks like. Not that I really do bother on Snapchat, but I'm feeling a little bit pressed, a little bit challenged about video and how much video I share on LinkedIn. Very little at the moment. I experimented with sharing one of my Snapchat stories last week on LinkedIn, but it was very specific around Jessica's experience of online education, which I thought would be relevant to the audience. The other thing I'm really conscious of on LinkedIn is that I want to make the content really relevant and kind of on topic for my key message around building high impact learning and development functions. So sharing these raw Snapchat videos, which I'm making for a different purpose in a different medium, predominantly for myself, although increasingly through the challenge starting to talk as if there's someone watching. I just think these are videos for a different medium and a different purpose, and that posting them raw as they are on LinkedIn isn't really appropriate. So what I have decided to do is I've set a goal from this week to do at least one, I think I wrote down two, but I'm going to scale it back to reduce the pressure on myself, one video on LinkedIn a week, which is on message around something I'm working on. I want to connect with people around and share some sort of useful resource and insight around strategic aspects of learning and development. Taking a little break from work. This is Rufus. Hey Rufus. Hey Rufus, we like staying in places with dogs. If a place has got a pool and a dog, Jess is very happy. Rufus is kind of a bit nonplussed about the attention today, but he's lovely. I've just been on the phone speaking with Shai Desai, who is a friend and industry colleague from Learning Plan. Shai has been really good at staying in touch with me on this trip. We've talked a few times on the phone and I'm looking forward to catching up with him when he's in Sydney. I was just commenting to Shai that staying connected is really important for me on this trip, and between the podcast as a way of remaining connected with people and what's happening in organisations, and just some effort to organise a couple of meetups to reach out to people as I'm travelling, I'm actually ironically probably feeling better connected to others through my work now than I was 12 months ago when I was really busy on a consulting assignment at Qantas, and it was kind of chewing into a lot of my time. I just love being connected with people. All right, getting set up. We've got Arun and I are hosting our first follow-up webinar for our From Order Taker to Performance Partner workshop. So I've got the run sheet up here, got my video all set up there, and the microphone. Say hi, Arun, you're on Snapchat.
Hello.
I did do a technology check yesterday. I invited Jess and she logged in and we ran through, well, I logged in as her and ran through to make sure things like the polling worked, and so I could see what participants we're going to see. So I'm pretty comfortable that we're all set on the technology, hoping to get lots of good reflection and discussion going to understand what participants have done since the workshop and what offer whatever support and guidance we can provide today. So we had 8 people join us out of the group of 36 for the follow-up webinar. And interesting, the ones who did join us are the ones who have also been the most active on the Slack forum. The smaller group was good in as much as it gave a bit more space and opportunity to have some verbal discussion as opposed to everything being in the chat. And there were some good questions asked about situations that people are facing. Everyone has either increased the amount of time they're spending as a performance partner or it stayed about the same. So it was good to do a progress check-in with the group. We'd only allowed 45 minutes for the webinar, but we ended up going an hour. So I think the next 2 that we're running will make both of those an hour long. So we've got enough time for discussion. So some of the participants, we couldn't hear them properly. So next time I will ask people to make sure they're on a headset for the discussion. So if they do want to speak, we can hear them. I'm going to do a summary as well, including the reflective process that we use, and email that out to everyone. You know, learning doesn't happen unless we endeavour to apply it and then reflect on what happened. So I do hope that the people who weren't able to join us today, the people who haven't been active in Slack, are actually endeavouring to apply what we covered in the workshop and taking some time to reflect. As I've heard Rob Wilkins say in the last 24 hours, we in Learning and Develop are not responsible for whether people learn. We are responsible for creating conditions for them to learn. And I feel like Arun and I have put the effort in to create the conditions for people to learn through this program. Found a trampoline park to entertain Jess for a couple of hours. Woo! And right next door, on the other side of this wall, are the Gold Coast Titans rugby league team. Woo! Jess is working on her connections. Connection is a transition from one trick to the next. Woo! There she goes.